How do you deploy Cloud Functions for Firestore? Imagine a world where your database can talk back and react instantly to changes. That's what deploying Cloud Functions for Firestore allows you to do. It's like giving your database a brain that can run code whenever something happens. If you want your app to automatically send notifications, update other systems, or log data whenever a Firestore document is created, updated, or deleted, this is how you do it. First, you need to set up your environment. Install Node.js and npm because Cloud Functions for Firestore are built using JavaScript or TypeScript. Then, install the Firebase command line interface globally with the command npm install Firebase tools. This tool helps you initialize, test, and deploy your functions. After that, log into Firebase using Firebase login so your local setup connects to your Firebase project. Next, initialize your project by running Firebase init in your project folder. Select the Functions option to set up Cloud Functions. You'll choose your existing Firebase project or create a new one. Pick your preferred language, usually JavaScript or TypeScript, and the setup creates a folder called Functions with boilerplate code. Now it's time to write your functions. Import the Firebase Functions SDK to create triggers and the Firebase Admin SDK to access Firestore. Initialize the Admin SDK with Admin Initialize app. Then, define functions that respond to Firestore events. For example, to react when a document is created in a collection called orders, you write a function like this. Exports on order created is equal to functions, Firestore, document orders/order ID. On create, snap context is equal to your code here. This function runs every time a new order document is added. You can also write functions for updates or deletions using onUpdate or onDelete. Before deploying, test your functions locally with the Firebase emulator suite. It lets you run and debug your code without affecting your live database or incurring costs. Once everything works, deploy your functions with Firebase deploy-only functions. The CLI packages your code, uploads it to Google Cloud, and sets up the triggers. After deployment, you'll see confirmation messages and URL if you set up HTTP functions. Monitoring is straightforward through the Firebase console or Google Cloud Console. You can view logs, check performance, and see how often your functions run. Google Cloud Functions automatically scale based on demand, so your app can handle more traffic without extra effort. Deploying Cloud Functions for Firestore fits into a serverless approach, meaning you don't manage servers but focus on writing code that responds to database events. Compared to other cloud providers like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Functions work seamlessly with Firestore, making it easier to set up event-driven features. For best results, secure your functions by assigning proper identity and access management roles. Validate data inputs to prevent security issues. Use environment variables for sensitive information instead of hard-coding secrets. You can also automate deployment in your development pipeline. Use continuous integration and continuous deployment tools with the Firebase CLI or Google Cloud SDK to test and push updates automatically. This helps keep your environment consistent and speeds up development. In short, deploying Cloud Functions for Firestore involves setting up your environment, writing event-driven code, testing locally, and deploying with the Firebase CLI. Follow security best practices and consider automation to make your cloud setup smooth and reliable.